Hi everyone, this is your Wednesday guided reading and we are going to be looking at the answers to the Be Prepared comprehension. So in your work packs you should have the Be Prepared lyrics, which is your guided reading for this week, and you should have also answered the questions yesterday. If you have not done that yet, that's okay, you can do it right now, but make sure you do it before going on with this video because I'm going to release the answers. So here is a quick just screenshot of the lyrics that was your guided reading this week. On Monday you should have gone through and seen some of the vocabulary, and you should have gone on Google definitions to find out what they mean. I know lots of you tried really hard annotating those words so you could find synonyms to help you understand it better. So question number 1. How does Scar describe the hyenas and find 2 things in the text? So there was actually 4 things in the text that you could have used. So as long as you have 2 of the ones that I have said, you can get that 1 mark. You could have used crude, plain, thick, and vacant. So any of those 4, you could have used 2. Number 2, what simile is used to describe the hyena's memory? He says it is as wet as a warthog's backside. So obviously not a very good memory, and he's describing it and he's doing a similar comparative statement. So I know it's a simile because it's got the word as in it. It is as something, as wet as. Number 3, what does the word essential mean? So essential means needed or important. So that's just your 1 mark there. And I've just given you a little bit of extra information there. So as long as you've said essential means that it's needed or important, or a similar synonym that you could have used from Google Dictionary, it means that he never thought he would need the hyenas until now to help him take over the Pride Lands. So he never thought he would need them, or he never thought of them as important until now. So as long as you use some of those words, then you can get that 1 mark. Number 4, why are the hyenas essential for Scar? Find evidence. So this is quite a big one because I need to know why and I need to find that evidence. So the hyenas are essential to Scar because he needs them to help him form an army to take over the Pride Land so he can become king. I know that he wants to become king. I know it because in the text he says that they have a glimmer of potential if allied to my vision and brain. So this tells me that if they become friends and if they work in partnership with Scar, then he sees them as essential as he will become king. So he wants them to join him, follow his orders and join his army. I also can steal this, and I've got this idea as well because I watched that video on Monday where all the hyenas are marching to Scar whilst he's singing. That's really helped me understand that that Scar didn't find them essential before. He didn't really care about them, but now every leader needs an army to help him achieve something. So I know that the hyenas are essential because he can't do it on his own. He needs them. So I've also stolen from the text because he sees the potential in them and he wants to make his vision come alive of him becoming king. There's also maybe another quote in there that you could have used, but I think this is the main one that you would have had. So you tell me what essential means and you steal something from the text. And then finally, you need 1 word for 1 mark, another synonym for worshipped, which means adored. So adored is in your second verse of the Lion King text. Number 6, nice and easy. Tick to indicate the statements are true or false. We've got 3 falses, 1 true. They're preparing for a party is false. They're not preparing for a party. They're preparing for a war to take over the Pride Lands. So they're definitely not preparing for a party. The hyenas are really clever. False, because I know he says that there's nothing in them, in their brains, and they've got a vacant expression, which means they're not really interested. They look like they're in a daydream, so they're not very clever. The hyenas are in charge of Scar. I don't think that because Scar is the one that's telling them what to do, so that is false. And Scar's teeth are ambitious and revealed is true because he says they're bared, which means that you can see them. So that is the same synonym for revealed. So we've got false, 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 true, 2 marks. If you only got 3 right, you will have 1 mark. If you got 2 right, you will have 2 marks. And if you only got 1 right, you have no marks. So number 7, what do you think is meant by the line, so prepare for a chance of a lifetime? So I think it means that he wants the hyenas to get ready, because obviously that means to be prepared. And I know that he's trying to become king for decades, because it also says that in the text. So he now sees this as the opportunity that he doesn't think will happen again. So it's an opportunity once in a lifetime. It only happens once, and therefore he wants the hyenas to be ready. So he wants everybody to be on the same page, and he wants to be ready to take over the Pride Lands. He's wanting them to understand the severity, so how severe and how important this task is, and how it can change their lives and take them in charge of the Pride Lands. So I know it was only 1 mark, and that's a massive answer. You don't need all of that. You can just tell me a little bit that you know that it's Scar saying that they need to be ready, and that it's probably only going to happen once in a lifetime. So they can't take it for granted. It needs to happen soon. And then, does Scar see the hyenas as equal partner? Explain your answer. He definitely doesn't. He treats them not very kindly. I believe that he doesn't see them as an equal partner, and he believes that he is better than the hyenas, or that he is in charge of the hyenas, because I think he's leading them like an army. And I know this because in the text it says just listen to teacher, and obviously teachers are usually in charge of their students. So he thinks himself as a teacher and them as his student. So that means he thinks he's more authoritative, so he's more in charge of them. They're not equal. And it also says that you will be rewarded when I'm given my dues, which means that once he wins, then he will reward them. And also I know that they're not equal partners because he takes the mick out of the hyenas a lot at the beginning, saying that they're dumb or they're silly or that they don't really know what's going on, or he's never seen them as essential. So there's loads of answers that you could have used in that text. As long as you have said that no, he definitely doesn't see them as equals, then you are correct, and you've given me a quote to back up that answer. And then number 10, why does Scar use the word allied? So first of all, I need to know what the word allied mean, which means to become connected or to join forces with or to become friends with. So he wants the hyenas to be on the same side as him, so they can join forces. The word allied is usually associated with war. So for example, in World War II, when we were fighting Germany, America and England were allies. So they were working together to beat Germany and some other countries in the war. So in this sense, he's thinking about the two animal species, so the lion and the hyenas, they're working together for their ultimate goal, which is to take charge of the Pride Lands. So you don't need to write all of that because it's only 1 mark, so I'm just trying to explain it a little bit more. But he does use the word allied because he wants them to work together. He wants them to be friends, and he wants them to join forces in order to get the ultimate goal, which is for him to be king. So you got something along those lines, you can get that 1 mark. And then finally, can you think of 2 adjectives that Scar may use to describe himself? So you got to get into the mind of Scar of how he would use to describe himself. So it would never be anything negative. He might say that he is independent, that he's a leader, that he's competitive, because I definitely know that he's competitive. He's in competition with his brother to be king. He might say that he's quite aggressive, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to lions. He might say that he's resilient because he never gives up and he's been waiting for years to become king, or that he's deserving. So it's not in the text, it is for you to infer what you think he would describe himself as. So you got something along the lines of the ones that I have given. You just need 2 adjectives for the 2 marks. You don't need to tell me why, just as long as they are on the lines of that the Scar would think of himself. So he would never say he's kind. He would never say he is selfless. He would say he is quite a selfish lion, but I don't think he would ever actually call himself selfish. So you need to kind of get into the mindset of Scar. He would never say anything negative about himself. He would try and come on top and say he's leader-like and that he's a good leader and that he's in charge of everybody. So we need to get along those adjectives that would tell me that. So your marks were out of, I can't remember, but I will have a look and I will put it on. But I need you to make sure that you mark all the answers, you give them ticks. You can add to your answers if you got some of them wrong using some from the video, and then send me over your marked work so I can see how many you got out of the total marks. Okay, thank you.